Hello everybody, today I'm going to be talking to you about my top 10 favourite books that I read in 2018. 2018 was actually a really good reading year for me. I read 27 books and I honestly can't remember the last time I read that many books within a year. Turns out if you actually actively try to read every single day, you read a lot. Yeah, these books are in no particular order, but first of all I do want to give an honourable mention to Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens and Gender by Becky Albertalli. This didn't quite make it into the top 10, but I just wanted to give it an honourable mention, and I figured that everybody already knows this book anyway. It was a massive film during 2018, but yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It's a really cute story and I'm looking forward to reading Leah on the Offbeat, the sequel, as well at some point this year. First book in my top 10 is The Power by Naomi Alderman. This is one of the first books I read in 2018. It is a dystopian novel told from a lot of different perspectives. It is about how these women all over the world, and the synopsis is basically that all over the world women are discovering they have the power, and with the flick of their fingers they can inflict terrible pain, even death, and then suddenly every man on the planet finds they've lost control and the day of the girls has arrived, but where will it end? As you can see, I've annotated the heck out of this. There were a lot of tense moments in this book that definitely made me want to keep reading, and it's a great discussion about women in power that provides a lot of nuance as well. I really recommend this book if you're into dystopian fiction. If you're a fan of The Handmaid's Tale, I think you would quite enjoy this as well. My second favourite book of the year is Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour. It's based around the film industry. It's about this girl called Emmy, who's a young production designer, and her and her best friend Charlotte, they discover a mysterious letter at the estate sale of a Hollywood film legend, and she basically chases down the loose ends of a movie icon's hidden life, leading her to uncover a decades-old secret and the potential for something truly epic: love. So obviously that's the central base of the plot, that kind of mystery, but it's about a lot more than that. It's really cinematic because it is based around the film industry. It's a lot about Emmy's personal relationships as well, and I really enjoyed this one. I thought the romance is between Emmy and another girl. I thought it was so cute, and just in general this book made me so happy, and it's a really easy read as well. I practically flew through this book. Next is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I wanted to reread this book as soon as I finished reading it, which is always a good sign. But yeah, it is fantastic. The story is a lot more than what the synopsis lets on, which is kind of a running theme in John Green's books, and in my eyes it's very insightful about mental health. I don't personally suffer from OCD like Asa does, the main character, but I know John Green himself has been quite open about the fact he has OCD, so I think he was kind of the perfect person to write a book about a character who has OCD. The next book is The Sun and the Flowers by Ruby Kaur. I know people have mixed opinions about Ruby's poetry and whether it's actual poetry, but that's a whole other discussion in itself. Regardless, I love this, and her first book, Milk and Honey too. I can connect and relate to a lot of her poems, as evidenced by how much I've bookmarked this. I don't know if you can see because the camera's not focusing. Sure, I've never been in a relationship, and she speaks a lot about being a woman of colour, which obviously I'm not, and I can't necessarily relate to her struggles, but still I think her writing is beautiful, and a lot of it I'm like, wow, same. This is a good example of one of my favourites. You are a mirror. If you continue to starve yourself of love, you'll only meet people who will starve you too. If you soak yourself in love, the universe will hand you those who will love you too. Next is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Everyone has heard of this book because of the film, which I'm still yet to watch, but the book is excellent, especially the world building and plot. I'd had this book on my TBR shelf for a long time. I finally got around to reading it and it didn't disappoint. I just thoroughly enjoyed reading this book, and if you love sci-fi and the 80s, then you will especially enjoy this book. There's another quite old one. It is Beauty Queens by Liver Bray. I love the diversity and representation amongst the characters. I haven't read Lord of the Flies, but I've heard that this is basically the female version of Lord of the Flies. It's about 50 of these girls who are contestants in the Miss Teen Dream pageant, and the airplane that we're travelling on basically crashes on a desert island, leaving them stranded. And I love too the commentary in this book as well. My favourite moments were when all the girls are just sitting around the campfire and talking about their experiences as a woman. One bit I highlighted that I particularly was this bit. Why do girls always feel like they have to apologise for giving an opinion and taking up space in the world? Have you ever noticed that? Nicole asked. You go on websites and some girl leaves a post, and if it's longer than 3 sentences or she's expressing her thoughts about some topic, she usually ends with, sorry for the rant, or that may be dumb, but that's what I think. But similar to how I felt The Sun and the Flowers, that was another moment where I was just like, wow, same. But yeah, I felt very called out when I read that paragraph. Next I have a slightly different book. It is a graphic novel memoir. It is Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi. I probably butchered her name, I apologise. Yeah, this is a graphic novel memoir. I believe it's actually a bit of a bind up of volumes 1 and 2. It was really interesting reading about the author's life and her relationships and her exploration of her sexuality. It's set around from when she was like a child, so like 5 years old, until she became a young adult, and it's around the era of the Iranian Revolution because the author is Iranian. She was born in Iran, and as Marjane mentions in the introduction, it was really interesting in to read about a country that is perhaps portrayed in a certain way by the media, which it kind of shows reality. Next we have An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. This is Hank's debut novel. It's a science fiction story about a girl called April May who kind of unexpectedly becomes famous after a YouTube video of her and a friend makes goes viral, where they discover these sculptures / robots they're called Cows in New York City in the middle of the night. Personally for me, I found April to be quite unlikable, and I was very frustrated at some of the decisions she made, but it's the plot itself what made it for me, and the commentary on social media and fame. Because I've become kind of distanced and critical of social media recently, I think that's where some of my frustration came from with April. However, you know, I did really enjoy this book and I could very easily read it again right now. Another book I would recommend if you enjoy sci-fi. The penultimate favourite book is Feminist Don't Wear Pink by Scarlett Curtis. This book is a set of essays written by a diverse group of women that Scarlett has curated. The essays are all about their relationship to feminism and their experiences as women. There is a really nice bit about the history of feminism, one of the end sections of the book. I thought it was a really great starting point for any like newbies to feminism, and I learned a lot myself from that in the kind of history section. This book really opened my mind to that not everybody has to do feminism the same way, and that whatever way you practice feminism is okay. This book is very intersectional as well in terms of the women they've got to contribute, which I appreciate a lot. There are essays from trans women and a disabled woman. I did give this 4.5 stars, and the only reason I didn't give it the full 5 was because I just would have liked something from queer women or more LGBT plus women, and as a queer woman myself, it's just something I would have liked to see more of. But other than that, I can highly recommend this book. And the last book is Body Positive Power by Megan Jane Crabb. This book changed my life. I'm not even being over dramatic about that. I highly recommend everyone reads this. If you've ever hated your body or wanted to lose weight, this is the book for you. It will open your eyes about the diet industry and how we place morality on food, and if you want to start loving the way you look but don't know where to start, then this is a good place to start. I follow Megan on Instagram. She's a fantastic person to follow, and I just seriously could not recommend this book enough. So yeah, those are all the favourite books I read in 2018. I think I pretty much gave all of them 5 stars, if not about 4.5, but regardless of like what rating I gave it, the books that I would recommend to my friends and family. So for me, giving them a high rating and the recommendation factor makes them favourite books for me. So yeah, good reading year last year. For my reading challenge for this year, I want to read 30 books, and considering I read 27 last year, I think 30 is achievable. Let me know in the comments what your favourite books you read in 2018 were. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye! That should be okay. Oh my arm.